This is WRPI Troy at 91.5 FM and live on the internet at www.wrpi.org.
This seems to be the theme song of our theme music of our radio show today. It's Spiral Revelation by Steve Roach, and in Israel, and it is the title track, Spiral Revelation. SteveRoach.com. Longtime fan of Steve Roach's music. And now I want to introduce to you our guest in this hour of In the Spirit. Her name is Debra Gehrke. And let me share something about her. As a high vibe mentor for decades and a channel for Source Infinite and the voice of the cosmic soul, Debra Gehrke's lifelong passion is turning others onto their own light and igniting the fire of inspired creation within to live and express joy, love, and light on purpose. Being an intuitive energy guide and channel, sacred mantra musician, vibrational sound healer, and nature spirit realm co-creator, has given Debra magical, practical, and effective pathways to guide the light consciously alive in those who feel called to journey with her. At Loving Awareness Sanctuary and also online, Debra offers a wide range of session services and gatherings, including high-vibe intuitive life guidance, flower essence consultations, herbal plant wisdom medicine, play shops, yogic lifestyle teachings, mantra music and devotional chanting, energy and sacred sound healing sessions, plant medicine walkabouts, full moon, solstice, and equinox kirtan celebrations, loving awareness immersions, as well as their yearly soul family reunion held annually over summer solstice weekend, including amazing kirtan artist healing sessions, nature immersion, high vibe foods, and more. Along with her husband, Mark, an intuitive partnership with nature. They also create loving awareness products as well. In addition to all that, there's growing and expanding at Loving Awareness Sanctuary. Debra is working on several books, a couple of channeled compilations that Source Infinite is guiding, as well as a high vibration foods cookbook, a guide to turn on your intuitive creativity in the kitchen. You can visit www.lovingawareness.org for more information, to schedule private sessions and to find upcoming gathering dates and to visit the online store featuring their sanctuary grown and created products. Let's say hello to Debra Gehrke. Hello, Debra. Good morning, good afternoon. What is it over where you are?
I think we're both in the afternoon portion of the day now, Gary.
Okay, you're at 1 and I'm at 2. You're at 1:05 and I'm at 2:05, right?
That's right. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on the show.
Oh, it's a joy. I'm really glad. I'm really glad you're with us, and I wanna mention to our listeners how we met each other. Actually, I was
Yeah,
at
that'd be great.
Madison. No, it was in Jefferson Heights, I think, Wisconsin, Jefferson, Wisconsin, or something. There was an amazing event that took place this summer, and it's a Midwest yoga and kirtan festival, and I loved it. And I had been a party to previous Western kirtan events with Bhakti Fest when Bhakti Fest started moving, which are normally in California. There's Shakti Fest and Bhakti Fest events are at Joshua Tree. They have been for years. I think they celebrated 10 years there. And they just experimented in coming over to the Midwest in Madison, Wisconsin. So I went to a few of them, and that's where I met a number of people. And I don't know whether I met you there, Deborah, but I did meet.
You did, Gary.
I did.
You did. Yeah, remember? So I'll remind you because I thought this was super fun. So
Okay.
for those of you listening, many of you may have already experienced these amazing festivals, but some of you listening maybe haven't yet. So what I'd like to share about Gary is that his passion is lit up to the nth degree when he's at these festivals. He's just this beaming, shining light, that's who I know you to be, Gary. And it was Bhakti Fest, I don't know how many years ago, quite a lot of years ago in Madison, Wisconsin. And Gary was at the front of the action the entire time, right at the front of the kirtan stage, dancing and singing his heart out. And that is my absolute favorite space and place to be in, too. And along with another friend of ours, Gary, Missy Balsam.
Oh, you were the three of us.
Yeah. Yeah, we were the dynamic trio through that weekend, dancing and singing and having such a bliss-filled experience and time. So, yeah, we did meet a long time back, but then only saw each other online here and there, and then reconnected at the Midwest Yoga Kirtan Fest
this past summer. Sharing these activities and with people that are really in the light, in the light and the love and the joy, expressing those qualities in the world. That's where I'm meant to be. I know that. And to express that and to share that and so it was with great joy that I saw that you and Missy were dancing, and you just brought out. I'm sitting there and I just. Look at these beautiful beings. I want to share in their energy. I feel like when I'm dancing, it's energy. It's all energy work, really. I felt like I was creating something. We were creating something together, the three of us in the dance. Did you feel that? We
absolutely.
We created a oneness.
Absolutely.
We created a oneness. And so we lit each other up, where we became almost like one being.
Yeah. It's pretty, and isn't that the nature of these kind of festivals, really? It's to ignite the light within and to then reflect that light so that we see it so brilliantly and so strongly in each other. And the more we play off of that, the more we amplify the wholeness of the light, like you said, as one. It's such a powerful experience. I really encourage everyone to find their way to one of these amazing kirtan festivals.
Yeah, and I will tell, I am celebrating 20 years of radio this year.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes, and congratulations, Gary. It's amazing how you've been in service.
Thank you. I really enjoy and to celebrate 20 years, I have created a festival in Albany, New York on April 13th. I'll let people know about that. And any and all are invited. April 13th will be at Lark Street Yoga. If you wish to know more about it, just see me on Facebook or email me, and most of you probably know how to contact me if you wish. If that's, so
that's going to be an amazing celebration. That's very cool.
Yeah. From 1:00 in the afternoon until 10 in the evening. And, it'll be a great celebration. Many kirtan friends that will be there, joining me. And so I'm really, really
Gary, will
grateful.
you be streaming the event?
Well, that's a good idea. I bet you I could get somebody to do that. I'll look into that streaming thing. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, why
It'd
not?
be amazing, because I know I can't be physically there, but I'm there in spirit, and it sure would be fun to partake in a live love stream. That'd be great.
Yeah. For those of you that I'm going to be in Florida in a few days, actually next week, for a Shakti, a Shakti fest at my friend's house. And it became like we just started talking about, why don't we put together something in Florida? My friend and Dana Kaplan, who leads a kirtan band, and this happened. So that's a 10-hour event too, or we're from 1 to 10 in Florida, and I'll be staying at her house. But we are inviting people that want to come to that event too, and that's coming very soon. You could also ask me about that. And if you know me on Facebook, I'm posting stuff about these events all the time. I'd be happy to do that. And I'm happy to know Debra is also into kirtan and leads kirtan. Tell me about your band.
Oh, Gary, our band is called Brilliant Bliss Kirtan. And we had the honor and the extreme joy of being able to share a kirtan set at the Midwest Yoga Kirtan Fest in September in Jefferson, Wisconsin. And it was definitely one of the highlights of our kirtan journey. We've been sharing kirtan music within the community and in our surrounding area for the past, I think we're over 6 years now. And we've moved a couple of times, or once since we started. So right now we're at our Loving Awareness Sanctuary and growing this beautiful, vibrant community of people who, some people have never experienced kirtan before, but they're experiencing ours and are really falling in love with it. And I just love the experience of being able to share the mantras and share the energy that gets created during these experiences. And because of the unique, I guess it's kind of unique, I don't know, Source tells me it's unique, maybe. I think that we all have this ability to open ourselves to Source consciousness, Source infinite, and allow Spirit to flow through us and express through us creatively. And for some of us, that may come through in one way and others of us a different way. For me, it flows through as spoken consciousness or sung music consciousness, sound vibration consciousness. And so our kirtans have taken on, they've evolved over the years. When we first started doing kirtan, we were sharing chants that we had heard before, but very quickly it became evident that it was time for us to allow Source to sort of take over. So Source writes songs through me, and I'm sure that is how it is for most people who write music. Don't you think, Gary, that it's inspired from the inside?
Oh, definitely. That's how I relate to it. So
these songs come through, and for me, they come through as one continuous stream of consciousness. Like, I'll feel a song coming in, and either I will literally just sing it into my voice recorder, or I'll pick up my paper and the words come in first, but in my mind, inside myself, I can hear the music overlaying with, and just right there within a few minutes' time, no thinking about, do these lines mesh and match together? Does this sound okay? It all just flows through. So truly, I consider myself to be an instrument, as I believe we all are, and I just allow Source to tune my instrument and allow these sounds and these words to flow through. And it's a very magical experience for me as Earth Debra, to allow these experiences to flow through. It's just beautiful. And then to be able to share the songs that come in, it's amazing. We just had our winter solstice celebration on the 21st. I love celebrating nature cycles and full moons and things like that.
Yeah.
And so our winter solstice celebration here at the sanctuary is fast becoming a most beloved tradition for people in the area to come and experience with us. And only about a week or so, a lot of people would have a set of songs, and they would just play that set of songs and get super good at those. And I don't think Source allows me to do that because they keep delivering new music and saying, this is the energy of the time, now share this one. So many times, sharing kirtan is not about performance. It is completely it's a practice. It's a beautiful devotional practice. We enter into the ocean of devotion and chant the names of God, and it isn't about any one religion. In fact, it's not about religion at all, but it is about higher consciousness and higher spirituality and the growth and evolution of our light and our expansion in our faith, whatever that might be, through these beautiful, magical, sacred sounds that we chant. So when the music flows through me, of course, the mantras that come in are ancient mantras that have been chanted for ages and ages. But many times then there's conscious English lyrics that also flow in as a part of the song and as a part of the vibration. And sometimes there's even sounds that come in that aren't English and are not recognizable as Sanskrit or any other spoken language that we all know of, but yet are vibrational healing sounds that come through from the divine, from Source Infinite. And all of those things get channeled into these songs that we can share. So at winter solstice, only a week before the celebration, maybe a week and a half, I'm not sure exactly how many days, but it was nearly time for our celebration. You know what a round is, right, Gary?
Yes.
Like Frere Jacques, right? And
yeah.
we sing it on top, like everybody comes in a little later.
I love when we do that.
Beautiful.
Because certain people,
yeah,
certain artists will say, okay, you guys sing this part, you guys sing that, and then at the end it all comes together.
Right. And so here I am, and Source is divining these words in, and this particular song is all in English, and I don't have a recording of this one to share with you, but it's quite lovely how it all came together. I thought, first of all, I'm not a music writer. I still, to this day, after doing this for 6 years, don't really even consider myself to be a musician because I'm sort of self-taught. I took piano lessons when I was much younger, but I guess I just intuitively feel the music, and then the information, the technique that I need to support what's flowing in somehow is shown to me. Sometimes it's just through a YouTube video, like, wait, what is that chord? I have no idea what that is. My fingers are here, but I don't know what that is because I play ukulele. We lived in Hawaii for a long time, but that's another story. So, so the round came in, and it returned to the light.
Yeah.
As light I am. You know, the words are just lovely. And
Yes.
I thought, how in the world? It's very complex in its melody. I thought, how is this going to work? How are we going to do this in kirtan and have it not be a complete train wreck? Gary, it sounded as though everyone in the room, we had nearly 30 people in our little inner sanctuary room, and almost every person in the room, it seemed like they had been singing the song for forever. We sounded like a host of angels. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. So that's sort of a long, roundabout, many detailed aspects to what Brilliant Bliss Kirtan is. Basically, it just lights us up. It feels like sunshine for our soul.
You shared something with me that I can perhaps play now for our listeners to hear. Sat Narayan, Satnam, the loving awareness, the Kirtan that you sent me on. Are we ready for that?
That'd be great. And Gary, it's kind of long. I don't know how, I mean, you can play the whole thing if you like, but we're just to oblivion. And this clip that I sent to you is actually probably from a 30-minute chant. Mm-hmm. And this is the end where the responders and I are just waxing on in harmonies of Satanam, 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 which is truth is our identity. Our essence is the vibration of truth in its highest form. So if you have a choice of where to start it, because it may get a little long because
let's not
we're
worry
not
about
live in the experience.
We'll start it out.
Great.
We'll let it go.
Around 6 minutes, there's a beautiful channeling part that comes in with some light language.
We're going to at least go through the 6 minutes, Deborah.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Gary.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. And then later on, we're going to do. You sent me a channeling message too. We can share maybe one or two channeling messages, right?
Sure, that'd be great. Yeah, and I have some written ones that I can read too, if you like, whichever feels good.
Okay, thank you very much, Debra Gehrke, Gehrke. Deborah, I tried. What is your website now?
It's lovingawareness.org.
Lovingawareness.org. Thank you very much. And here is the music, the kirtan.
Satnam, Satnam, Satnam.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. That's living healthy and green.
Make it green. Green, green, green. Make it green. It's your home, it's your dream. It's your dream.
Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
A message from the U.S. EPA.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning into WRPI Troy today. And it's specifically this program, In the Spirit. I'm the host, Gary Goldberg. And today, on this hour, we have Debra Gehrke. And that was just a wonderful, joyous celebration with that Satnarayan, Satnam, with light language. And she's with us right now. I love that. That was great.
Thank you, Gary. You know, it's so much fun for me to listen to it, too. It's such a different experience allowing that to pour through and then being the receiver and being able to listen and to just soak in the feeling of the connection with all of those that were present and beyond the physical presence to the lineages of our, ancestors and beautiful ones that were all cooperative components in that co-creation. I just love it.
That's just really
Thank you
wonderful.
for sharing it, Gary.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, you know, I almost got up and started dancing around. Yet if that it is such a joyous kirtan and experience. And so you're tell us about where you are so people can know location-wise where you are so they can connect with you if they're in your vicinity.
Sure, thanks. We are located in Wapaka, Wisconsin, and Wapaka is a sought-after summer destination really all year round. This is one of the most beautiful spaces. Wisconsin sort of just gets dismissed. Like, what could possibly be amazing in Wisconsin? Well, now you know that there's amazing kirtan in Wisconsin because you've been at these festivals here with these amazing people that come together. And it's a beautiful, beautiful natural oasis, too. In the region where we live, there's hills and valleys and streams and spring-fed lakes, and I mean just crystal clear water. One of the rivers right here by us is called the Crystal River, and it's truly just so beautiful. And the sanctuary that we live on is a little over, well, it's 17 and a half acres, and we have forested land and a prairie, and this land is so sacred, and us coming here felt like coming home. Just being here, being present at the sanctuary and allowing, you know how law of attraction works, right?
Yeah.
So we're just pulsing. It's like the land welcomed us home, and we are working harmoniously with the land, and the land is calling. We're magnetizing everyone to us that is meant to share in this loving awareness experience. So if you're near to Wisconsin at all, or even in the Midwest, we have friends that come and see us many times from Minneapolis, St. Paul area, from Minnesota, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, and we are, to sort of just put a little location pin down, we're about 2 hours north of Milwaukee and Madison. So those would be our largest regional areas, 2 hours from that. But otherwise, we're just in the middle of, I think it's heaven, honestly. We lived in Hawaii for 4 years, and we absolutely loved that experience, and that also is paradise on earth. And we found ourselves feeling pulled to come back to Wisconsin and to be nearer to family. And the experience of living where we are right here, right now, it's pure magic. And I love the turning of the seasons. Right now, I'm talking with you, Gary, and I'm looking out the window across our property, and the driveway right now could be used for an Olympic skating rink. We've had so much rain and ice and snow over the last couple of weeks, and some people are like, "Oh, I have to get out of there." And even having lived on Kauai, I didn't think I would ever want to live back in the Midwest and deal with Midwestern winters again. And I have to be completely honest. I mean, do I love the beach and the ocean and the mountains and all of the beauty of Kauai? Absolutely. Would I love to still vacation and go and visit these amazing places on Earth? Yes. But the beauty that is here, and witnessing the turning of the seasons and feeling the connection to this land, this is heaven for me, right here, right now.
That's so beautiful that you have that strong connection with where you live. And isn't it true that where we are, we bring that connection with us. So we actually the land we actually acknowledge the land and for what it is, the beauty, the spirituality of it, and it doesn't always have to look like Hawaii either.
You're right.
I
mean, you can experience that in the city, can't you, Gary? I mean, nature is all around, right?
Let's put it this way. I live in a busy street, and in the summer I sit on my front porch, and there's a big tree. It's a busy street, cars traveling. I live on the top floor, and the second floor, and the cars are going by. And there's this huge tree. The best tree in the whole block is right in front that I get to see the birds and the squirrels and the animals play.
Yeah.
And then above that I see the beautiful sky, and the birds like sweeping down and playing, cavorting in the sky. Amazing what they do. All life wants to enjoy itself. We think everything is so everything is practical that animals are there just for food and just to exist. Not true. They like to play.
No,
they really like to play.
Absolutely.
I see it in my fish. I have fish tanks. I see it in the birds. They are part of God's creation, and they're celebrating it.
Absolutely, without question. And I love that. I love that we can feel that connection. And there's so many times I'll hear people say we need to, I'm really craving to go spend some time in nature. And I get that. I think that that's an amazing, powerful way to connect, and we should all do that, more. And I always remind people also, though, that we are nature. So nature is not something that's separate from us. We are a part of nature, not apart from it. And when we recognize that, then we understand, I think, more why it is so vitalizing for us to put our toes to the earth, to sit with our backs up against a tree, to sit on our porch, like you said, and gaze up at the birds, totally having a party in the sky. There's so many ways that we can recognize and immerse ourselves and realize that connection, no matter where we live.
That's so true. And I want to talk to you about your work and some of the things that you may want to share with us while we still have airtime left, Debra. I'd like to first of all ask you about channeling. Yesterday we had a really conversation that really was pushing all the right buttons for me, because we were talking about how life is just, when we're tuned into it, it just sets things up in such a wonderful way that we really don't have to put a whole lot of effort in it and take the sense of me out of that and we into it, and you get that we're part of a great adventure, and that which is really all of us. Our individual identity is a minor part to play, yet an important part to play, because we create channel. We can channel, and what we do, we channel all the time. But sometimes we consciously channel certain information that wants to come through. I've done it before. I know I've experienced it. I've been attracted and to learn the language and the wisdom that comes out of when people are channeling their higher selves. It's really like a higher wisdom that is even beyond the self itself. So I mean, it's when we know we're part of the all and the all is part of us. Why worry, right?
Absolutely.
We got it. We're part of this great adventure.
Right. Absolutely. And you used an interesting word. You said you used the language that people speak about around this idea or this concept, of tapping into something greater than just this personality experience that we're living in right now. And I really think that's the beauty of it, honestly. It's like we throw this word about, this word channeling. We sort of throw it about a bit. And because we've come to put that in sort of a container that we can recognize as, channeling. That means there's something coming from something else, from somewhere else, that's not entirely just this individual. And the beauty of that is that you can release yourself from having to really know or understand what this word channeling, what does it mean, what does it not mean. It really doesn't matter. What it does mean, in the heart of what you were just describing, Gary, is about connection. It's about understanding and living the light of our being and living the union of infinity as us, with us, in us, through us. And that is where our power lies. So when we connect in that way, when we allow ourselves to let go of a conditioned idea or a belief of how things are supposed to unfold and just allow ourselves to flow into the current of infinite nature that's alive and well within all of us, then everything that begins to take shape, everything that begins to take form, from the very just ideas that are floating through our consciousness, to the words that we speak, to the steps that we take on the earth, all of those things are generated by the infinite flow of our divine nature. And so when we have an inspired thought, when we have an inspired action that we feel to take, that is us connecting with all that is. That is us allowing the divine nature of who and what we really are to flow through and become manifest. And you used a word earlier, like effort gets so much, like the less effort we take, right, the better that it is. Just give ease, give grace, give ease, give grace. Lean into allowing the flow and not needing to have immediate control over anything, because honestly, effort and control are both illusory. There really is no such thing. And
and I'm interested in
that was quite a flow right there.
Well, I remember yesterday actually when we were having that conversation. It was funny because I was in a Barnes and Noble. Do you know what Do you have any Barnes and Noble near
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting in the cafe area with my material. I was reading and sitting and relaxing and enjoying. And I got a call. I think you called me there when I was sitting there.
I did.
And I had these amazing conversations with you and a couple other people at Barnes and Noble. And here I am without trying to disturb people. I'm walking all around the store talking into the phone. And then I walk into the mall because it's part of a mall area, and I'm walking around, and I'm just like, I just keep on walking. Yeah, so I got exercise while I was talking with you, and I'm walking all around, and we're talking about these amazing things like channeling and the experience of everything's right, and we're direction is coming from divine guidance and all this stuff that really they're just speaking truth, you know? And I really like to be able to have these kind of conversations. They're the best kind of conversations I'd like to have, similar to the ones we're having now, you know?
I agree. Gary, it is so hard for me to just talk about simple, mundane things. I mean, we can, but why not have a very passionate, inspired conversation? There's so many more beautiful ways that we can focus our attention, and I love these kind of conversations.
Me too. And these have become the friends I have in my life more and more. This is where what we're sharing is just and I want to before we leave, we talk about channeling. So I want to you can choose. You've given me a number of these channeled conversations on various topics. I'm thinking maybe we could go. What do you think about I Know Who I Am? Tap into your power. Do you want to do that?
Did I give you a specific? That's a blend that we have in Elixir Mist. I Know Who I Am.
It says I Know Who I Am. Tap into your power. On you, yeah.
Oh, that's a channeling. You want to play one of those? I'm with you now.
Okay.
See, I'm partly here as me, and partly the whole host of everything that is also flowing through. So
okay.
I understand, and yes, let's listen.
Okay. Thank you. Right.
Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? You may ask yourselves this question over and over again. Do I know who I am? And for most of you, the responses that flow will be in relationship to that which you have experienced. Do I know who I am? I am a woman, I am a man, I am a mother, I am a father, I am a daughter, I am a son, I am a sister, I am a brother. I am a teacher, I am a doctor, I am an artist, I am a writer, I am a farmer, I am a caregiver. And by these examples, there are many, many more. And when you ask yourself this question, who am I? Do I know who I am? And these are the responses that flow through your mind. It is because of the experiences that you have had in this physical realm of this current earth, space, time reality. And every experience that you have places another layer of identity upon yourselves. And you allow these layers of identity. Those which we have mentioned to you are very simple. They are roles that you play, as it were. And then there are those experiences that you may have that cause great joy and elation, and also those experiences that you may have that cause sadness or anger or fear. There is a myriad of emotional experience that you as humans in this earth realm journey through. And through these experiences, these emotional experiences, you tend to subscribe to and adopt certain patterns of identity through these emotional experiences. You allow these emotional experiences to define you, as it were. And we invite you here and now, as you are transforming more and more every moment and every breath into the fullness and the greatness of who and what you really are. We invite you toward looking more closely at how you allow these layers of identity to shape and form around you. We invite you toward looking more closely at how you define yourselves. Defining yourselves through the roles that you play. We understand this. You are mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, sisters and brothers. We do understand this. It is part of who you are in this human makeup. And in the identifying with the emotional experiences, those that you identify quite deeply, whether they are emotional experiences of great joy and elation or experiences of great sadness and despair, and everything that flows in between. You see, emotions are vibrational indicators. This is what we invite you toward recognizing. When you are feeling something, this is good. It is good for you to bring your awareness to that which you are feeling emotionally. Because why? Because it brings you into a consciousness around that which you are experiencing. You are energy, you are vibration. And as you flow through emotional experiences, you can discern. If it is something that feels good and brings you closer to the truth and the light of who and what you really are, or if it is something that does quite the opposite and pulls you further from the truth and the light of who and what you really are. And you see, we would invite you, rather than identifying so closely with the emotional value itself, pardon, we would invite you rather to just notice what it is that you are experiencing and move yourselves closer to that which feels good and that which feels better.
That's a channeling by Debra Gehrke, Gehrke. Lovingawareness.org is her website. She's with us, and that was a channeled session. That was very beautiful. That's part of a much longer. We really wanted Debra for people to experience the channeling, and it is a different energy that comes through. It's not your personal self.
Oh, absolutely. And the interesting thing is every message that you listen to will sound slightly different because the energies that come through, I'm allowing the vessel to receive source. So who's convening in one session compared to another. There's an infinite realm of consciousness and an infinite realm of potential. And so each message that you listen to, the one that you just played, was from February last year. I quick looked. I was curious, how long ago was it that this one was recorded? Because I sent, a bunch of them to you.
Yeah.
There's so many more. We have so many more that we've recorded that aren't even up because they come in so prolifically that we haven't even posted all of them. But I love hearing the different nuances in the energy that come through depending on what is being talked about in the messages. It's very fascinating.
I think we should do some more radio, actually.
Well, that's good. So you're having fun. Does that mean that, Gary?
Well, yeah, of course I'm having fun.
Good.
Yeah, I like this is what I live for. This kind of stuff to share.
That's awesome.
And this is what I live for. This is I had this crazy thought that maybe the next time you come on, this is something I haven't done in a long time, is see if I can open up my own channel to see if it wants to come through.
That'd be beautiful. And, I'm feeling right now very strongly that Source would support that. And Source can flow through me, and Source meets this stream through you, and we both carry on a higher vibration conversation.
We could
even higher.
We could converse. The channels can converse through us to each other.
Yeah, that would be beautiful. I have had that experience with others, and it is amazing.
And we're going to do it.
All right, that sounds great.
So, we're about at the close of this particular program today, Debra, lovingawareness.org. You want to connect with Debra and her work, and looking forward to the next time, and we'll arrange a date, and if we could arrange a date and time before we reach the top of the hour, I can share it with our listeners. But to do that, we have to say goodbye for now, put some music on, and then talk about that. All right?
That sounds great. Thank you so much, Gary, and thank you to all the listeners out there. Keep on shining your light and just breathe and allow. There's magic that can happen.
Thank you. Breathe and allow. We did set up a date with Debra, February 28th at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. Thank you for listening. It's WRPI Troy.